unclean spirit is gone out of a man. He walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. He saith, I will return unto my house, from whence I came out. This is a story of temptation, the condition of the battle. When he knocks, what will you do?
Kick the bad habit, 8 years clean. Left the homies going at it, Christ to my team. Brand new job kinda took me off the scene, but I get every other Sabbath off. I gotta make this green. Job shot me a promotion, new suit, a new desk. Raised the pay a little, but they doubled up the stress. Called me on my off day, asking if I could flex. Seeing I broke the Sabbath once this month, damn it, then what's the rest? 11:30, I'm out the Gizzo. Deuces, I got the Gizzo. Ran into an old homie in traffic, we call him Renzo. Gotta keep it short, cause he carnal, still bang 6-0. But I met the cat in preschool, love him like he my kinfo. Say he need a ride to the corner, back to the hood store. Ran to get a couple of donuts and Coke and Cheetos. Gun went off, ran what these niggas shooting at me for. Asleep before I even know, wondering where I went wrong. When he come knocking, what you gon' do? Them old demons, yeah, they coming too. I ain't trying to scare Porphyria, but what you gon' do? Temptation knocking, who you running? And the clock is saying tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Pay attention, this is a split decision. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. This is scripture, choose your life or death. Kick the bad habit, 8 years clean. Left the homies going at it, Christ to my team. Brand new job, tried to take me off the scene, but I told him I need the Sabbath off. Ain't dying for no green. Bill got me a demotion, more hours, more stress. Dropped the pay a little, but I got the day of rest. Call me on my off day, asking if I could flex. Told him I won't break the Sabbath day, note this for all the rest. 11:30, I'm out the Dizzo. Deuces, I got the Gizzo. Ran into an old homie in traffic, we call him Renzo. Gotta keep it short, cause he carnal, still bang 6-0. But I met the cat in preschool, love him like he my kinfo. Say he need a ride to the corner, I told him no. Gave the brother a couple of flyers, he camped and went home. News came on, Ring killed the corner in front of the hood store. Tried to catch me slipping, bro, not my father's business though. When he come knocking, what you gon' do? Them old demons, yeah, they coming too. I ain't trying to scare Porphyria, but what you gon' do? Temptation knocking, who you running? And the clock is saying tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Pay attention, this is a split decision. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. This is scripture. Now the moral to the story in this life, it ain't that complicated. Choose your life or death, you got the option, you must demonstrate it. Come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul, there will be tribulations. Racing to the swift, you might trip and you gon' need the patience. Believe it, man, the times may change, but these demons remain the same. If you don't change your ways, you gon' stumble at the same things. Hit your spiritual ceiling, no growth, no real change. Making all the wrong decisions, repentance was just a phase. Hey, I'm just here to tell the truth. The devil coming through, now what you gon' do? Leave him at the door, invite the whole crew. These conditions of the battle, since Adam you have to choose. Either pick gotta be missile food. If you play around with sin, then he gon' get y'all too. Life and death is set before us, win-win or lose-lose. It's repent or die, the decision's on you. When he come knocking, what you gon' do? Them old demons, yeah, they coming too. I ain't trying to scare Porphyria, but what you gon' do? Temptation knocking, who you running? And the clock is saying tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Pay attention, this is a split decision. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. This is scripture, choose your life or death.
Order in the court. I said order in the court. Order in the Lord's court.
Should have kept the commandment.
No. Don't start crying now. Drag his big ass.
Get your hands off me, you monkey.
You thought you was going to get away. Esau, you have been found guilty for crimes against God's children. And today is the day of reckoning. Prosecutor, approach the bench.
Testing. Shalom, Israel. Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, where do I begin? Let's go.
J-U-D-A-H. About my God, my faith. Okay, we the Israelites and we taking over. You don't believe that? Just wait. Been a lot of hate coming from your way. Spill my blood, now gang gon' pay. Pay with your sweat and tears like we did for years. Watch you sell your kids in your face. Watch me. Give her double of his portion. For the rape and robbery, I need death and extortion.
Wait, what do you mean extortion? Come on!
Charging for the murders and the abortions. Everybody let the prisons out they cages. Face it, he gon' need to meet that swordsman. I'm piping, OG with it, no sniping. Brand new body can't fight me. Get it how you want it, man, I'm floating, no ollie. Watch me haul his ass, no dolly. Judgment for that folly. It was written, but you doubted. Now your life is in the balance.
No. Stop. No, stop the crying. You can't win us over with tears. It's judgment. Where's the 12 tribes at? Where are the 12 judges at? Where's the 144,000 at? We've come to bring judgment on this earth, on you and your people. Guilty as charged. Drag his ass away.
Back at it. Did it for my people getting back at us. Right. Beat it for redemption.
uproar. Gucci and the blackface.
Can you hear us on Periscope? Can you hear us on Periscope? And those on Facebook, I saw somebody said the volume was messed up. Is it better? They said tech team no value.
All right, we can't get into this fire class yet.
Tech team no value.
All right, hold on. Bear with us.
As we speak, let us know if you can hear us or not. Please, if you're on Facebook or Periscope, type Y if you can hear and see us. Type Y if you can hear.
Okay, we good now.
And see us. You got people say they can hear us?
What's that on?
That's what I'm finding out now.
Okay. If you're on Facebook, please type Y if you can hear us. If you have any value. Okay, yes. All right. Good. Sister, okay, right. Loud and clear.
We good?
Good. I'm sorry about that. We apologize. We got that up on the screen?
Yes, sir. I'm going to read this article. All right. Let's make it a little bit bigger. One more. It says, Young Thug wears the infamous Gucci blackface sweater in the studio and fans bash him. Scroll down for me. It says, you probably remember the infamous Gucci sweater for which the brand got dragged all over social media. At least you have to remember T.I.'s boycott invitation, or maybe the fact that 50 Cent set his Gucci clothes on fire after the scandal broke. Back then, people told 50 Cent that what he's doing is completely pointless, and even Jamie Foxx commented on his post, presenting another suggestion. Scroll. Anyway, it looks like Young Thug is not here at all for this whole Gucci hate movement. And he's even wearing the infamous sweater that led to the backlash against the brand. As expected, his fans blasted him for this move. Someone commented, how is this cat going to wear the Gucci sweater after the controversy? That's why I don't feel that cat. Another commenter said, sorry, bro, but it's trash. Put down the cup and work on your craft.
All right, we want to stop there. So what we're seeing right here is an artist. He did this because he knows he's going to get some publicity. It's a publicity stunt. Like I saw one individual said something about that all the designers that do this, these labels, they know what type of media attention they're going to get when they do this. It's calculated that they did it during Black History Month, and it's calculated that they pull it down, and then what happens? An uproar starts. Right. What does this do for the whole time? This creates what? Publicity for their brand.
Right.
One thing that black people don't understand is, in the white man's world, there's a saying that no publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Right.
That's what y'all failed to understand. All the world was talking about Gucci. And what happened? The people that wore Gucci, they're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy some more. And the few black people that actually have any solidarity amongst their people, they stood up for, what'd you say? Didn't you say something about they said not to wear it for how long?
Right. 3 months.
3 months don't wear Gucci.
Brother saying, let's boycott Gucci for 3 months.
3 months.
What is that going to do?
I want to read a scripture. Somebody give me Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 6. But the fact that this young man would go out, spend his money, and then wear it is showing you the mindset of our people. We have no solidarity amongst our brothers and sisters. At least during the 60s, when you had the bus boycott,
right?
We had together. The sit-ins. We were together as a nation of people. Today, with all the communication channels that we have, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, text message, phone calls, you would think our communication and our solidarity would be on a whole nother level today. We can shut down everything by a Facebook post, and share it everywhere, right? And everybody would know what to do.
Exactly.
But guess what happened? The black man's mind has been destroyed. No matter how much we can communicate here, it goes in one ear and out the other. Read that for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity.
Read it again.
folly is set in great dignity.
The Bible says that folly is set in great dignity. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. The folly of our brothers and sisters being pushed on a mainstream media outlet. Did you want to say something before we go to the next topic?
No.
Hey, you know what's heavy about that, though? It proves to you that the Bible is true because folly is set in great dignity. These brothers from Floyd Mayweather, because he's another one that said that he's okay with wearing Gucci. He don't give a damn. And then this brother right here, they know doing evil like that to a people that feel some type of evil is going to create, just like you said, more publicity for them.
Absolutely.
You still going to watch Floyd Mayweather fights, and you still going to listen to Young Thug music.
Exactly. Ain't nothing going to change. Nothing is going to change. Go to the next article on my boy R. Kelly. Your favorite, the Pied Piper of R&B.
He back in the news again.
He back.
We're going to start at 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, no, we're going to read this article real quick.
Okay, gotcha.
Read that article.
It says, R. Kelly, out of jail again as an anonymous citizen, pays his child support.
Read.
It says 2 days after R. Kelly went straight back to a Chicago jail after failing to pay more than $160,000 in child support, the singer/songwriter has been released after an anonymous citizen paid the unresolved amount on his behalf.
So, what we're seeing right here, we're seeing right here is the mindset of a destroyed people, of a destroyed nation. So, R. Kelly apparently he went to jail for not paying child support, $160,000 worth of child support.
That's a lot.
One of his fans agrees to bail him out of prison. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when you think to contact the mother of who's missing the child support,
right,
instead of bailing out the individual that's guilty of a crime,
right.
That's the mindset of our people. That's the destroyed. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 48, please.
Give us Barabbas.
right.
Exactly.
That's a prime example. We love to free guilty individuals.
Damn.
Something is wrong with us. I'm going to show you why we do these types of things. And scroll down on that article. You got it? Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until what?
He have destroyed thee.
Until a random individual will bail out their favorite musician who is guilty of a crime after he was just in jail 2 days ago. That's the mindset and that's the moves of a destroyed people.
You know what's scary about that? Look at all the injustices that are done to our people, as in brothers and sisters getting killed by the police and getting a $1 settlement.
Right.
Where's the people giving them
a
lot of money to help these people? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yet, you going to give R. Kelly money.
Right.
Man,
that's heavy. That's heavy. Also, there's thousands of brothers and sisters that are in prison that they're innocent. I forgot what they call it, but they sitting there in jail and they have no DNA. They have nothing against them, but they had to meet a certain quota and they got locked up.
Right.
And their court case, it's something that Trump did. Not Trump, but Barack was supposed to help a lot of individuals that were on this list. I can't think of it.
I know what you're talking
Pardon
about.
them or something?
Yes, the pardon for individuals that did certain things, and it should be pardoned because everybody know they're guilty. Everybody knows they're guilty. But will we get our money together to help those individuals? Absolutely not. Go to Luke chapter 7 and verse 31. Luke chapter 7 and verse 31. This is the mindset of our people. Because you'll free your favorite musician, but you will not help those that have actually labored in the black community. Those social activists. Remember the black man, the first black man they say they arrested under the new law when they was trying to find black activists. He was with a group.
St. Louis?
It was in Texas. It was in Texas. He went to jail. When he got out, I didn't see a group of people waiting for him and offering support.
No gun GoFundMe.
Right. No gun. Nothing for him. Nothing for him. Read that. Luke 7:31.
The book of Luke, chapter 7 and verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation? And to what are they like?
So God says, what shall I liken the men of this generation? And what are they like? Read.
They are like unto children.
They are what?
They are like unto children.
They are like unto children. Because children, the whole world is a what? And when you're in school, what do you want to be? What do all the kids want to be? What? The most popular kid, right?
Right.
Do you want to be the most popular kid because everybody will support you? They don't know why. You don't do anything to actually to create a better life for them. You're just cool for some reason. That's what God says the nation of Israel is like. Because we support our musicians, we support our athletes, we support our singers to a whole nother level that the brothers and sisters that are actually laboring in the community, our political activists, our social activists, our teachers, our lawyers, they would never get the support that individuals that do entertainment get.
One of our listeners said Jay-Z paid the child support. Now, I don't know. We haven't verified that. But, hey, you know.
Now, the one thing I will say, because we always go both sides, the positive part I will say is that we come together on something.
Right.
So, obviously, there is a glimmer of hope.
Exactly. A small
that people will come together on one day.
Right.
Because I was talking to a young man yesterday at camp, and he was 40 years old. He said, listen, if I join y'all today, I'll be out here till I'm 80. He said, ain't nothing will make our people come together. He said, nothing. And he was convicted in that. Because he said, what y'all saying is true, but our people are not going to gather together in that. You have something you want to say on that day?
We will.
Yeah, I was going to. In Deuteronomy 28, it talks about us being destroyed.
Right.
So when you look at our people and we look at the images that we have, one of the things that's been destroyed is our image. So when we have somebody like R. Kelly that's in the forefront, that's our.
There you go. Hey,
that's our dude right there.
Right.
That's why he got bailed out right there.
That's why we got to come behind him. He's our image right there.
And you know what? That's very heavy. What you said, Soldier. That's very heavy because what it means is when the Israelites do their job and we tap into the hearts and minds of our people and they truly see the prophets for who they are, they will support us. They will fight for us one day. So we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Go to the next article or the video. Go to the video. What's the timestamp?
5:40.
Go to 5:40 of the next video. So now I want to touch something else. Everybody in the world has been talking about R. Kelly in the interview. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but I saw the memes, I saw the short GIFs, and I just want to give my 2 cents on it because he said something that I know for a fact is true. Now, if he's guilty or not, I don't know.
Exactly.
But what I do know is that the black man has been assassinated, and his character has been assassinated on all
Scroll
fronts.
back down.
Did you post it in there, or did you send it to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Okay, I got to post it. Hold on. I'm going to send it in there. Go ahead. Keep talking.
And you know what's heavy about what you just brought out, Soldier Daniel? When you examine the Israelites, all of us as a people, what other nation, Deuteronomy 28:37 says, thou shalt become an astonishment. An astonishment is what other nation of people uses their noble men. They say that their noble men are actors, are singers, are ball players.
Right.
No other nation does that.
Yep.
Nobody else.
That's true. Except
for the Israelites. So that's why we gravitate towards this brother, because he is a noble figure no matter what the allegations are.
There you go. Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1. I want to show y'all something.
Nah, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You can bring it out. I'll read it for you. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1. You want to give a preface so they know what we're finna read, why you want to bring this out?
Well, the reason I was going to go there right quick is to back up what the officer was just saying. The Most High took the wisdom away from us.
Right.
Took the wisdom from Israel. And the scriptures bear witness that this is what he left us with.
Right.
So go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts does take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and staff and the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
So it says the Lord doth take away.
That's
all right. So let's see what else he took away from us.
The mighty man.
The what?
The mighty man.
He took the mighty man from us.
And the man of war.
We have no might in our hands, as the scriptures say in Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
The judge and the prophet.
Wait a minute. You can't judge me.
Right.
Right? But then when we read in Paul's writings, he said that we should judge the world.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the prudent. And the ancient.
And the ancient. That's why you don't find no wise men and women out here. Go ahead.
The captain of 50 and the honorable man.
We can't find no honorable men on the earth today.
Right.
Except for the Israelites.
Right. Absolutely.
But we can't find. You remember there was a time in like the assassination with Bill Cosby and stuff, there was a time you had, at least you could see something we could grab hold of.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's why they had to destroy Bill Cosby. They had to you ain't gonna see no what's the show? It was called Bill Cosby Show, right?
Right.
You're not gonna see those reruns anymore.
No.
For a very long time.
Right.
That image is gone.
Right. And I just want to, because I said that but this is another thing. Notice when they go to the black community, when they do their character assassination, it is good that we have these images, these positive images.
Right.
But look who they go after.
Right.
R. Kelly, a musician.
Right.
Bill Cosby, an actor.
Right.
Who's the other? It was another brother that just recently they went after. I forgot. Oh, Cat Williams. He's another person. But all of these people are what? They're entertainers.
They're entertainers.
They're not the honorable men. They're not the man of war. They're not judges.
No.
They're not prophets.
No.
They're not the ancient.
No.
Showing you that as a people we are destroyed. The fact that we have to go to our entertainers, people that put on a front, they act for a living. They're not truly about our people or truly about the movement. That's who they attack.
Right.
Now, I'm going to read verse 4.
All right.
See who the Most High left. He took these men away. Who did he give us? Verse 4.
And I will give children to be their princes.
Right.
And babes shall rule over them.
So we lost the mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the ancient, the counselor.
Right.
And he gave us babies.
Yep.
Right.
And that goes right back into Luke 7:31. It might not be actual babes, but mentally.
That's right.
Mentally, we are children.
You know who those are? That's your Floyd Mayweather.
Absolutely.
That's these brothers that just looked at as clowns.
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody of any stature in a positive way for the community.
Right.
That's those brothers right there.
There you go.
Isley. Ron Isley, the Isley brothers.
Right,
they went from singing uplifting music like Harvest from the World to Trapped in the Closet.
Right.
Like Kelly.
Right. That's what happens. And you know what?
Chasing the Young Tail.
Did y'all go over this last week? But somebody was talking about that with Tupac. Tupac was really conscious at one point.
Right.
And then when he really blow up in his career, the next thing he was singing was I Get Around.
Right.
He went from changes, till I see no changes, to I get around.
Right.
Round and round. They
Make it
do
seem
that
like
to
they
all our
bipolar.
people. Huh?
Make it seem like they bipolar.
Right. Like, what are you about? I'm about the dollar. All right, play this.
And now our feature presentation.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly. You do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
Robert,
and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say something. Yeah. I've said nothing.
Gail, you remain tough and calm.
He needs some milk. Well, I mean, y'all gonna stop it. All right, so we'll go both sides because we don't want to be biased. So, but what we see right here is another individual. He understands when he's talking to the camera. He knows who he's talking to. I know who he's talking to. The wise men know who he's talking to. Somebody go to Ephesians chapter 6, because what y'all don't understand is there is a group of individuals that control the hearts and minds of 99% of the world. And they understand that with the history and the past that R. Kelly has, they can shape your thought process about him. No matter if it's true or not, it doesn't matter. There's a saying in the world, perception is what? Reality. The perception is reality. And it's funny that all this happened right after, what was the show that came out? The Surviving R. Kelly?
Right.
Documentary. The documentary. Now this stuff happens. All right, read that. Ephesians 6 and verse 12.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right. That's what our brothers and sisters that reach that level of fame, and you go against them. He did something. Obviously he did. I don't know what it was, but he did, because it's been quiet. They've been quiet because you watched the documentary, right? This stuff been going on. It ain't new.
Not at all.
It's not new.
Started way back when with Aaliyah.
Right.
And she's been going for a long time.
They knew about this 20, 30 years ago, but now all of a sudden it's coming out. I don't know. Maybe R. Kelly has something going on in the background. You know what it is? That's what it is. Right. So understand that there is a reason they are coming after R. Kelly. Read that again. 6 and read the bottom part. Against rulers.
Ephesians 6 and 12. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Read.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places. So R. Kelly, if you're listening, brother, understand you're not going to win this battle with Johnny Cochran.
Right.
You're not going to win this. The only way you're going to survive what you're going through is if you have to repent, brother. Right. You have to repent as an Israelite and come back and keep God's laws. Whether you're guilty of what they're saying you're guilty of or not, understand. Keeping the commandments is the only thing that's going to give you a hedge from what you're fighting against. Go ahead.
Mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Go ahead.
No, there was that video with the two women that's with them right now. That's a heavy video too, but that's a whole different topic. Basically, they were saying that they live with him, but they can't sing. They said they can't sing. They said we can't sing. Right. We just want to be around R. Kelly. Wow. So that just opens a whole different book right there.
Right.
That's a whole different story.
All right, you have something you want to bring on that? All right, so now we're going to get to the topic. We ain't going to go to the weed. We're going to get to what we came to see.
Bring it out.
So reintroduce it so the people know what's going on, officer.
Okay, we're going into the Deuteronomy 28:48. We're going to bring out how the world's resources have been raped. Okay, so the raping of the world's resources. So in order for the world's resources to be raped, we got to understand first, who was the world's resources given to?
Right.
And now our
because that's a big mystery right there. Because think about it. If you're under impression that God so loved the world and God is for everybody, then God must have made all the resources for everybody.
For everybody. Okay. Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54 and 55. Because understand something. The world is out of course. We understand that. The things that we have been taught have all been lies. Right? First of all, we've been taught we was Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
When we was taught the Bible in Christianity, this is the Jews' book. We the Gentiles. It's like we just going along for the ride. Right. So we've been miseducated as to who we are. So naturally, now when we look at the person who has the resources in their hands, we just think, well, that's naturally, everything is naturally the way it should be. But the Bible is pulling down that veil. It's going to bring the truth to light. So we're going to show you that the curses are real. So all of y'all out there that think the curses ain't real, we're going to show you that the curses are real. They are on the Israelites. We're not cursed people.
Right.
We are under the curses, and we are going to show you how these other nations are taking advantage of that.
Right. What you just said, though, is heavy because when you think about it, when you evaluate all the things that's happened to us as a people, remember, all this is for us breaking God's commandments. We think that a lot of times before we even get in the physical sense of being raped, the knowledge of God has been raped from us completely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why we're in this condition. We don't even remember. We don't know anything pertaining. We don't know how to please God anymore.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, you got that?
Read that scripture.
The book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Right.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Those are the Israelites. Go ahead.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So Ezra knew in the spirit that all of this, all the resources, everything was created for us.
Right.
It's heavy.
It wasn't created for all people. But now, let's go to Deuteronomy 28:48. Can we paint the picture a little bit, get the understanding of, we're going to go to the blessing, and you're going to see why we know that the other nations have raped and stolen the resources. And then what they do, they sell it back to us.
Sell it back. Oh. We're going to get to it. Let's get rolling.
That's gangster.
That's gangster. Oh, that's gangster.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Who gonna send them?
The Lord shall send against thee.
Okay.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So we've been destroyed from knowledge of who we are. We've been cast out of our land. We don't have our language anymore. All of these things. And so now we have to depend on our oppressor for the truth. Right? So let's see how this came about. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 27. Genesis chapter 27. Let's just get straight to the point. 40, let's say 39.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 39.
No, start at 37.
37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord.
So he's telling him that he's made Jacob, we are the sons of Jacob, the Israelites. He said he made Jacob, go ahead.
Made him thy Lord.
So Esau, Jacob he's going to lord over you. Go ahead.
And all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and with wine have I sustained him.
Read.
And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
I've given him the blessing. What you want me to do? Read on.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Read.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
So all the best places.
That's heavy.
As we go through the class, you'll see all the best places. Who's going to be there? If it's not Esau, it's those joined to him.
Right.
We'll tell you who those are later. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
No, by the vote.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
That doesn't say vote there?
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Okay, read on.
And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So at some point in time, Esau going to have dominion over Jacob.
Heavy.
Okay. So we got the video on deck. Or we're going to read natural resources, right?
All right, because I know a lot of our people, we had to destroy the state, as we mentioned. I want to make sure we know what a natural resource is. So this is the definition of a natural resources. Natural resources are all the land, forest, energy sources, and minerals existing naturally in a place that can be used by people. So naturally, you have enough to sustain life.
So wait a minute. All the land, forest, energy sources. You got oil, right? Gases, sunlight that they harvest now. And all these things. Water.
Water.
Clean, fresh drinking water. Right. All of these minerals, all of these are natural resources. Wait a minute. So, Janae, can you read that one more time? Second Ezra.
Second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54.
Let's see who the resource is supposed to be for.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So all these natural resources was given to us.
Right.
All right. Y'all got the videos?
Start at the rise of the industrial scale chicken. And then we're going to go down through the videos from there. Start at the chicken. The first, because I want to start at this one first, because I know we deal with the Israelites.
Right.
You can't talk about the Israelites if you ain't talking about chicken.
Exactly.
So understand, the chicken is put here for us. It was made for us. But I want to show you us living in this society, and we're going to read that scripture about the world being upside down. Us being in this society, we have turned things that were natural and we turned it into a machine.
Right.
Read that. Or play that. Play that.
Roasting and barbecuing chicken is an American tradition, but it's been a long time since most of our chickens have been raised on traditional farms.
Hey, pause that.
Over the past...
I just want to touch that. It says roasting and barbecuing chicken is an American tradition, a Babylonian tradition.
Right.
And what we're going to find out as we go on, America lives differently than everybody else. So what has happened? Our philosophies and doctrines have spread throughout the earth. When that happens, when everybody wants to be like the Joneses, it ain't enough for everybody. Exactly. But go ahead, keep pressing play.
Past 5 decades, the broiler chicken industry has been transformed from hundreds of thousands of small poultry farms scattered throughout the country to far fewer and much larger facilities concentrated in what's now known as the broiler belt. The broiler belt stretches from eastern Texas through the southeastern U.S. and up to Maryland and Delaware. Chickens today are mass-produced.
Pause that. Chickens today.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. Chickens today are mass-produced. Now, I don't know about y'all, but are chickens cars?
Right.
Are they vehicles? Is that a couch? Right. I didn't know you mass-produce animals.
Something you put in your mouth and eat.
You got to think about that.
They multiplying chickens.
Chickens today are mass-produced. Go to Isaiah 29. We got to get it. We got to get it right now. This is not right. This is not right. How do you mass-produce an animal? You can't do that because you're an older man, officer. I know there was a time there was a time in your life, which means you got wisdom. There was a time in your life where it was not uncommon for you to go throughout a neighborhood and in the back of the yard you would see a garden or you would see people harvesting animals. They would have their own animals.
Absolutely.
I know when my family comes from Jacksonville. Most of the row houses in Jacksonville, it was not uncommon for chickens to be in the backyard.
Right.
But as the curses increased, those things have went away.
Right.
All right, read that. Isaiah 29 and verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16.
Matter of fact, start at 15.
Verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsels from the Lord.
The so-called white man. He hides these things from the Lord. From us. Read.
And their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us?
Right. Who knows that we harvesting chickens? Who knows that we putting steroids in these chickens?
Right.
Just know that Burger King got 10 nuggets for $1. That's all the Negro worried about.
Right. Hey.
How many of them fake chickens can you fit?
And they spit them out quick.
They spit them out.
You can take, I remember reading something about you can take a baby chicken and with steroids turn it to a grown chicken in less than 2 months.
Dang.
Wow.
That can't be healthy.
6 weeks or something like that.
That
it
can't
was
be
a
healthy.
small amount of time.
Keep reading.
Verse 16. Surely you're turning of the things upside down.
Yo, what?
Surely you're turning of things upside down.
Because this is not how the Most High God ordained. This ain't what he thought of when he gave us the earth and all the animals. When he told Adam to name all the animals, he didn't say, hey, name that a chicken, put it in a big old factory, and mass produce it so you can make billions. That wasn't the plan. This thing is upside down. Go ahead. Keep finishing the video.
I want to bring something right quick.
Go ahead.
To show you further proof that this is upside down, get Genesis 47 and 1. So during the time of Egypt, right, our forefathers, they got the best land, right? Because, look, like you said, we would produce, we would harvest, we would take care of animals. Our occupation was to take care of, was farming and agriculture, right? Read that.
Genesis chapter 47 and verse 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers.
So we took care of, we raised our own food, we planted food. Remember, Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Esau was the one going out hunting. All right, so this is not uncommon to us. But as you said, as the curses increase, this is what we get.
Right. Go ahead. Press play.
50 in 2007, the number of broiler chickens being raised in this country increased by more than 8 billion birds. That's an increase of over 1,400%.
Yet during that same period, the number of broilers...
An increase of over 1,400% in 40 years.
Just to make you think about it, what if your paycheck got increased over 1,400%?
Exactly. Go ahead, keep pressing play. But this is the thing. With all that increase, watch what happened. Press play.
Broiler farms decreased by 98%. We went from 1.6 million broiler farms down to about 27,000 today.
Pause.
The typical broiler.
Pause. So you increase the production and you decrease the amount of farms that have these chickens. What is that telling you? Somebody's getting paid. Somebody's making some money.
And somebody greedy.
Right.
Because you putting a lot of people out of business.
There you go. There you go. Esau is making some money. What you got? What you got?
Hey. Sirach chapter 34, verse 22. I mean, that's an astronomical decrease.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people have been put out of business.
Exactly.
You got that?
And you know what? There's a word they call it. It's called a monopoly.
Yes.
They have monopolized the chicken business.
Right.
You can thank Mr. Tyson for that.
And not Mike.
Right. Not Mike. You got the scripture? Read it for him.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 34 and verse 22. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him.
So Esau, with his greed, has killed many families.
Many. Dang. That's heavy. That's heavy. Because you know there was a lot of people that actually had little small farms. They paid them off.
Right.
They paid them off and they had to go do something else.
And you know, going back, like you said, I remember before, Walmart was, you went to Walmart for everything. You had little grocery corners, a grocery store that you went, and you could really get just about anything you needed. And if it was something they didn't have, well, then you went to a Publix or a Kroger's or something like that. Now you've got these chain stores doing the same thing, what we see in there, that shut down everybody.
Right. You don't even see bakeries no more.
Yeah.
That's something I used to see. I can't even remember the last time I seen a bakery.
Yep, that's true.
Those things don't even exist no more.
That's true, because everything's a one-stop shop, so one man can make the money. Walmart say, I'll put everything in my store and shut down everybody else's store. But that's dangerous, because there's something now that goes on they call what? They call it a recall. Because things ain't going the way they're supposed to, because they jacking up the earth. The earth is upside down. But we got a lot of content. Keep playing. We got to let it finish.
Chicken comes from an operation that raises more than 600,000 birds annually.
And as these operations have grown bigger, they've also become much more regionally concentrated. The industrial broiler production model means billions more chickens raised in far fewer facilities and in even smaller amounts of space. To learn more about big chicken, pollution, and industrial poultry production in America, please visit.
All right, so I just wanted to touch that one first. Let's go to the next one. Soldier Daniel posted that one. The Jamaica, IMF decimating one country after another. I think you want to start at a minute, right? Soldier, I think that's what you had. Yep, start at a minute. So, you want to give a preface of what we're about to watch?
So, in Jamaica and the West Indies, for the so-called Benjamites, one of the things that they use is their policies, right? They use their policies in order to capture the lands, to make sure the people are always owing them. They always are going to owe them. So this is just a little bit behind the psychology or philosophies that Esau has in order to capture that. Because we always need help. We always need help. It's in one of all things, right? So we always need help. We always need food. We always need water. We always need this and that. So we always are reaching out to who? Our enemies.
Before you play that, that's very heavy, because when we was at a camp earlier today, we were going over Deuteronomy 28, and the young man said, well, there are white people that have helped me. And I said, you know what? There are. I'm sure there are. Just like there are some that have helped me through times. I said, but let me ask you a question. If I came in and I took over your house and I put you in the basement and I saw you was thirsty and I gave you a glass of water, am I now righteous? So, like you said, they come in, they rape our resources from us, and then we need them. Right. And we see them as being good because one gives you something that that they already stole from you and are living off the benefits of it.
It's like if I take the car and I give you back the tire.
Absolutely. All right, let's play this.
And they said, no, long-term development is your problem. We are here only to see who do you owe the money to, why are you in a bind, and we'll lend you some money in a very short time frame at full interest rate to get you out of the bind. And they then impose upon you tremendous restrictions in what you can spend. And then we reach agreement.
Hold on 1 second. So right there, part of their policies, this is talking about the IMF, it says that we're going to give you some money. We're going to help you out, but we're going to tell you how you're going to spend it. So if I need money for new shoes, you'd be like, no, you can't buy new shoes, but you can get some socks. All right, you can play on it.
The set of measures on the budget, on the exchange rate, on monetary policy, on interest rates, on banks, on maybe privatization, and say, yep, we think this could solve your problem.
And you say to them, but if I do it that way, when I finish repaying you, I'm going to be in the bind all over, because this can't solve my problem. This is not our problem.
The whole idea was to set conditions which the government could not meet. And when the government failed to meet them, you would have to renegotiate a new loan in which the conditions became tighter. So the IMF didn't say, cut out this education program or cut out this health program. What the IMF said is, you must spend only so much money on health and education. And the implication of that was that you had to cut out some programs.
Essentially, what the IMF wanted us to do was to devalue our currency. That's the first thing, to make our dollar cheaper.
They needed to expand their exports and diminish their imports. And the best way of doing that is to make foreign currency more expensive.
And since our society is so heavily dependent on imported food, imported fuel, imported books to go to school, imported medicine, when we devalue, the cost of those things we import go up to the citizens. And as a result, the economy today is much more under the control of foreigners, not necessarily through direct ownership, but through the mechanism of debt. In the 1970s,
Pause that. Go ahead. You want to bring something? Go ahead.
No, I was saying that's Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Can we read that one more time? Just one more time. Because right there he said we are heavily dependent on these imports. Mm-hmm. When you think about the West Indies, you think about palm trees, coconuts, running water, but it ain't like that. They need stuff. They need medicine. They need resources that they have to get from other countries. And what Esau has done, they caused them to pay a high price in order to get that in. And they said, the things that you export out, we gonna buy it for cheaper. Can we read that?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
So that's what the brother said. All those things. We need food, we need water, clean water, because they also, the IMF also funded the utility system there too. But that's a whole different video. Continue on.
And in nakedness. And in want of all things.
It says in want of all things. What do they want? Help. Want help. And where they got to go to? Their enemies. You got to go to your enemies for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep playing it. You're going to say something heavy.
$800 million. By the end of the 1980s, we owed $4 billion. Nowadays, we owe $7 billion. So the debt is rising, and all the time the debt is rising, our capacity to export, to produce, is getting less.
All right, so you want to bring out the Iuic scripture?
They get ready to post the definition right quick of usury, but explain that again. What
First
we just watched.
You go to the private banking system, and you see
what we just watched was the system that Esau uses in order to exploit. That's exploitation. That's what that is, exploitation. You use somebody when they're worst condition, and then you take from them. And that's what Esau does, exploitation.
So they'll lend you some money, right? And knowing that you're not going to be able to pay it back, right?
Right.
And then you can't pay it back, so we're going to loan you some more money to pay back the first that you couldn't pay back.
Right.
And then we're going to tell you how you going to spend it.
Exactly.
Let's show this definition. Can you pull that definition up right there?
It says usury, the illegal action or practice of lending money at unreasonably high rates of interest.
Let's get some of those synonyms.
Extortionate, money lending, payday lending.
That's one of the things that a lot of our people have fallen into today. That's what they're doing on a high level.
Right.
Read.
Loan sharking.
Loan sharking.
Offensive shock lending.
Wait a minute. The IMF is loan sharks, huh?
Right.
They loan sharks. What he said, at extremely high rates.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's
so,
interesting.
the world is out of course. Let's get that. Exodus chapter 22, verse 25. Let's get the law on that. We're going to show you. The world was created for our sakes.
Absolutely.
But what's going on right now?
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury.
So they loan money to God's people, right? And they're practicing usury.
There you go.
Hey, let's get the next video. We just building the case.
Hey, and hold on. I want to touch something.
Okay.
I want to touch something because Daniel brought it out. Go to the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. I want to show you because what they did, they came into the land with the IMF, international funds, and they have certain policies that they have in place. They tell you how to allocate your funds. He said, we'll give you this amount of money, and we'll say you only can spend this much on education, on healthcare. But they know your budget for healthcare is $10 million. But it's earmarked that you can only spend $5 million on healthcare. So what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to be without this healthcare. What's going to happen? You got to call in the United Nations. Then what's going to happen? They're going to sneak in different things, and before you know it, your whole country is broke. That's exactly what he said. They were at $4 billion in debt. Now they're in $7 billion in debt. Right. And in the next video we're going to show you, it only keeps going. Daniel 8 and 25, read that.
Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy.
And what?
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
To prosper. Prosper is the root word of prosperity.
Right.
Because that's how these other nations live, on the backs of the Israelites. We have made the whole world rich, and we don't even understand it. Because I've been to Jamaica. Jamaica is a land that is full of resources. There's no way they should be in debt. They should be able to complement what they don't have to be able to supply them what they do. They got the tire companies, they got the coffee companies, they got the fruits, they got the vegetables, they got the tourist society, all these different things in this island. The Bible says that those islands are beautiful, precious lands. That's what he gave us. And now we find ourselves in debt through the policies that the white man has instituted. You want to bring something out on that? All right, go ahead, play the video.
After 3 years of construction, a Chinese-built toll road has opened on the island country of Jamaica. The project
Stop it right there. Can we rewind that first statement, what she just said? I didn't even hear that the first time I watched it.
After 3 years of construction, a Chinese-built toll road has opened on the island country of Jamaica. The project.
So they got a Chinese road in Jamaica.
I was just about to say that. I wanted to ask the people. Hey, I wanted to ask the people that, like, what do y'all hear wrong about that? Because, right, have you ever heard of the Japanese opening up a road in America?
Right.
You'll never in a million years hear about that. What about? We have an African toll road in Florida.
Right.
You would never hear it. That sounds absurd.
Crazy.
But here it is. This is on the news and being publicized as good for the so-called blacks, for the so-called Benjamites. For the Benjamites, this is good that the Chinese man is lending his hand.
Right.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I have no wife, God.
Wake up, you Jamaicans. Wake up. Wow.
Oh, that was beautiful. Hey, this is why Zephaniah 2:1 is in the Bible. We got to come back together, but we got to come back under God's commandments. Because you know what? They say, oh, you lazy black Americans, right? Because Esau got businesses all in our neighborhoods, right?
Right.
So they got the equivalent of their own MLK.
Exactly.
Just you can't drive on it.
Right. There you go. And you know what? I guarantee you, the people that actually did the work of that Chinese highway,
They did.
that's
a whole different video.
Who did the work?
Benjamin.
Right. Benjamin did the work.
They did all the work.
Only Chinese man on the site was the engineer.
Right. Exactly. He probably wasn't even there. But we know we the best builders on the earth. But keep playing.
Marks the largest Chinese investment to date in the Caribbean. Officials say there is more to come. CCTV's Roy Ruttenberg joins us live from Kingston, Jamaica. Roy, big highway. What's been the reaction by the locals there?
Well, Michelle, many people here were anticipating the opening of this highway. This has been a project that's been dreamed about in Jamaica for the last half century. Parts of the highway were opened in recent weeks, but at a ceremony on Wednesday marking the opening of the full highway, Jamaican and Chinese officials spoke of a new standard of coordination and cooperation between the two. Still, it might be some time before we see traffic pick up. It's been locally dubbed the Beijing Highway, a new toll road that'll directly connect the Jamaican capital Kingston in the south with the resort beach city of Ocho Rios in the north. A 2-hour drive reduced to less than half, thanks to a $730 million project with funding coming from China.
As a company, we're very happy to have a chance, to provide our services to the Jamaican people.
More than 1,000 Chinese workers and 1,000 local Jamaicans.
One second. You got to listen to what they said. The funding for the highway that was built by the Chinese company was funded by China. So where's the money for the tolls going to go to? It's not going to the so-called Jamaicans. It's going to China, the Moabites.
3 years building the road, officially called the North-South Highway. Difficult terrain required creative engineering solutions. Jamaica's Prime Minister said success was possible thanks to a, quote, good, strong bond and friendship between Jamaica and China.
And we intend to use those things to secure even greater investment, not just in infrastructure, but in tourism, in agriculture, in leisure and recreation, in building new cities, in water.
The highways hope to play a crucial role in helping resuscitate Jamaica's economy. It's been burdened by large interest payments to international creditors that have left little room for domestic government spending. Jamaica gave the China Harbor Engineering Company, which built the highway, a 50-year concession to recover its costs. It also gave it land alongside the highway to develop for commercial and residential use. That could spell more jobs and more growth in the near future. And there's plans for more, including a new deep water shipping port. The investment amount double the cost of the highway.
We have accumulated some experience after 30 plus years of reform. Now we are able to share what we have with our Caribbean friends.
Which is exactly the point, officials say. A partnership that, from here on out, will only accelerate.
All righty. He said, our Caribbean friends. That's what he said, right?
He said they are friends now.
They are our friends. Okay.
I'm going to read a scripture for you.
All right.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Okay, read on. Let's see what they do.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass.
Because they're not going to come over here and tell you, yes, you know we're coming over to take over your land.
Right.
My friend, come in peace. Right. I want to make a league with you. Yep. Which we were warned about in the scriptures, right?
Go
ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Now, verse 12.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
That's what's getting ready to happen.
Right.
Because what they're doing is they're slowly giving over their land to China.
Right.
China's going to own, just like what we're going to see later on with Africa.
Right.
China's going to be the majority owner of the best places of the land in Jamaica.
There you go.
They building a highway.
Right.
Through, they don't do nothing by accident. You know that's got to be a major source. There's got to be ports or something that's going to be tied together.
You hit it right on the head. I don't know if it passed a little bit ahead. It's going to tell you it's going to go from Kingston to Ocho Rios.
Right.
Ocho Rios is one of the hottest destinations for vacations.
Yep.
And it's going to tell you what else they're going to be building over there.
Yeah, it said they're going to get land on both sides of the highway.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Yep. There you go. What is this? Oh, this what you wanted? Okay.
We not depend that. Go back to China for that, Send a Chinatown. The Bex. And if Peter Phillips or Andrew sign that, they'll never win again. Me run the ghetto. Them fi know that and I ghetto run politics, And me attack from my heart, man.
You think there should be a petition right for
Petition what? So the government now petition for we. I'm sorry if y'all get ignorant, make me hurt,
See it.
Oh, a petition if we sign for that. That means that when I put a life on line and say sign petition to save we. Then know we life and nature, So you're killing life, you're killing the country, For what? Money? Come on, man. See them we have China come have road, yeah. We have road at China. All that me not like that, How long we have borrow IMF money? We couldn't borrow some money and make a own a toll road and get back
pause
money.
Pause that for a second. For y'all that cannot understand what he said. He said, do we got a road in China? Yeah, no.
So you see the wise of the people, they understand what's going on. They understand it. But you know what? The mindset of the black man, we don't understand that. We don't understand what's truly free. I'm going to show you what it means to truly be free. Go to Matthew 17. Matthew chapter 17, and let's start at verse 24. Because what we're seeing right here is infrastructure. They're going to set up tolls. Tolls is the way they say it today. But this is tax. That's what that is. That is tax to another nation or another person. You should only have other nations paying you. Because as the soldier brought out, all the people that's going to be on that road is tourists. It's not going to be your people. A lot of them are going to be tourists. You should be making money off other people coming into your land. But that's not what's going down. Read that.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute?
Right. Does not your master pay tribute? Read.
He said, yes. And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?
So he asked him, whom do the kings of the earth take taxes from? Read.
Of their own children or of strangers?
Of their own children or of strangers. Now let's put it in today's term. Jamaican man. You Benjamites that think you're free, man, because you smoke weed all day. You're not free, man. All right. Are you collecting taxes from the Chinese man? Or is he collecting taxes on you? Let's see. Read that.
Verse 26. Peter saith unto him, of strangers.
Of tourists. If you were smart. Read.
Jesus saith unto him, then are the children free.
Right. When you can build your own $750 million highway, then you are free. Same thing with you Haitians. When you don't have to call the UN to come build tent cities all over, then you're free. Go ahead.
We gonna finish the video?
Yeah, we gonna finish.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, finish the video.
And the Chinese company here is not wasting any time. I asked some of the engineers working for them if, now that the highway has been opened, if they might relax a bit and enjoy Jamaica's beaches. They told me that they're still already busy working on the next project, a multi-platform project overseeing lots of infrastructure changes here in Jamaica, wasting no time. Michelle?
Well, it's a nice place to waste some time. Rory, speaking about the highway, there have been some disputes about toll prices. What are the details there?
And you know, this ceremony that we saw on Wednesday actually happened at the southernmost toll plaza of this new highway. It's really a very passionate domestic issue, and it's been played out within domestic politics. Some say that the toll prices that are being set by the Chinese as part of that concession, as their right to do so, have been set too high, that they may be off-putting for the average Jamaican whose income might be lower than what is necessary to really make use of that toll. We saw the critical...
Pause. Sounds like usury. What does it say? When you lend to the poor and it's too much, that's usury. Because, and it's showing you once again who's in control. Now they don't let them come into the land, build the road, but now they're like, hey, the prices they set were too high. Guess what? You signed the document. It's too late.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
I'm going to read this right quick.
No, no, to the no, no.
Ecclesiastes 7:7.
All right.
It says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
That's heavy.
So you know the one that's, or the few that are profiting off of this in Jamaica are those that are shaking hands with the engineering company.
There you go.
Their pockets are gonna get fat.
There you go.
But look at what they, doing to the rest of their people.
Right. Go to give me Ezra 4:20, soldier. I want to show y'all something, because everything that the infrastructure that the world has today, they get it from us. They get it from us, but what have they done? They've abused it. They've abused their power, and that's why they say the world is upside down. They take everything to the next level, to the extreme, because what we about to read is going to show you what they're doing is nothing new. Nothing new. We got it yet?
Yeah, I got it. You got it.
Ezra chapter 4 and verse 20. They have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over countries.
Which have what?
Ruled over all countries.
Which have ruled over all countries. Read.
Beyond the river.
Beyond the river.
And toll.
And what?
And toll.
And what?
And toll.
And what?
And toll.
Read.
Tribute. And custom.
Was what?
Was paid unto them.
Y'all see, this is what we failed to understand. This is what you didn't learn last month in Black history. That your forefathers were kings. Your forefathers had highways and charged tolls for people to travel amongst our provinces. That's what we got to come back to. Chinaman, Jamaican. No, I mean you Jamaicans. You mean to tell me you can't build your own roads? Come on, Benjamin.
Hey, I'm going to make this real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example. Go to 2 Chronicles 17, 11, and 12. 2 Chronicles 17, verse 11 and 12.
2 Chronicles chapter 17 and verse 11. Also, some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents and tribute silver. And the Arabians brought him flocks, 7,700 rams and 7,700 he-goats. And Jehoshaphat waxed great exceedingly.
He waxed what?
Waxed great exceedingly. And he built in Judah castles.
What was he living in?
Castles.
Wow.
And cities of store.
So the world was made for our sakes. We used to have rulership.
That's right.
But now, you still think that we're not under the curses right now.
Right.
Okay.
Now we trying to catch a deal on chicken nuggets. But before, people brought us 7,000 of the finest he-goats and sheep. Now I'm trying to see if McDonald's going to drop them nuggets down to $1. Dang. Telling me we ain't oppressed. Man. All right, we ain't finished that video. It had a few more. I don't know. It might got some more nuggets left.
Yeah, there's a little bit more.
All right, finish that video.
Criticism being made again at the ceremony by Portia Simpson, the leader of the opposition and the former prime minister, saying this criticism in front of the Chinese officials and delegates who are there. Separately afterwards, the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, announcing that in discussions with the Chinese firm, they agree that the tolls would be reduced by 25%. That's already been widely reported here, and many people welcoming that news. It's not just the Jamaicans, though, that will be using that highway. We do expect an influx of tourists from the north and the south to use it as well.
So, I think we missed that part. I think we missed the part where it talks about it was a 50-year concession.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Just talk about it, because we
must have went past it somehow, but they said it was a 50-year concession. A concession is when the government grants the land to somebody to use. It's an agreement for that land.
Right.
So for the next 50 years, the Chinese, the Moabites, own that land or can use the land for whatever they need it for.
So you mean to tell me after they build up all their stores and everything, they just gonna leave? No. That ain't gonna happen. They're gonna make another concession. That's all. And like we just read in Daniel 8:25, it's all part of the policy. It's all part of the plan. All right. You want to introduce the next video? Obviously, you posted this one on the fishing, how they raping the seas. Yeah, you posted it. Huh?
Okay. So I think it's the Chinese too that are primarily responsible for this, but the seas are being overfished. Okay, and it throws off the whole ecosystem because you have other fish to feed off the smaller fish, and what's happening is now a lot of the larger catch is being dwindled away, and now you just got smaller fish. And like you was bringing out with the chickens, how, and I think it was you, Aaron, that in 2 months they can, fatten up a chicken or make him an adult. What we're finding is that a lot of these fish are not even getting to maturity. All right, go ahead, play that.
I'm on one of the last fishing boats working out of Grimsby Harbour. If we'd been here 30 years ago, there'd have been something like 6,000 fishermen working these seas around here, and about 40,000 jobs back on land. In many ways, those were the glory days. It's very, very different now. Paul Walker, who skippers the Hunter, is one of the last fishermen based in Grimsby. He's out fishing for crabs and lobster. If you and I were going out, say, 20 years ago, what would these seas have been like? How many boats would there have been out here?
Oh, you'd have boats queuing up to get in and out of Grimsby, really? To land fish. I can remember my dad taking me to Grimsby to buy the fish for a Friday for fish and chips, and seeing all the big Ross boats moored up on the north wall, all the seine nets over on the west quay. Now, I'm not an old man or anything, and I can remember that.
And what's happened to all of those boats, all those fishermen?
They've all been deregistered, decommissioned, and scrapped, basically.
And the men?
I suppose they're down the job centre of everybody else. It's, nowadays, the fishing industry, it's just near enough non-existent.
This is a rare event in Grimsby now, a UK trawler unloading its own catch here on the dockside. The UK is increasingly reliant on fish imports. Grimsby, once the pride of British fishing, is now mainly a distribution and processing centre for other countries' fish.
5, 8, 5.
Okay, that's primarily, we don't have to watch the whole video. That's the primary point I wanted to get out. They have overfished their waters.
Yep.
To the point now, he said in their heyday, you see like 6,000 fishermen out there.
I want to go to the, skim it for me so I can see why you skimming. I want to show you how big the fish used to be and how big they are now. It's one thing they show. Go through so I can see the picture. Yeah. Keep going. When he pick up. Yeah, he talking. All right, go back. Right there when he talking to that dude. Yeah.
The trawler would bring up a net that was almost bursting. Sometimes they couldn't actually haul it into the vessel, and so they'd have to scoop fish out, or it would burst at the side of the boat and they'd lose the entire catch.
And how did sea and how big were the shoals?
Well, some of them were enormous. There were reports in the 19th century of haddock shoals which were 150 miles long.
How much was that? God, that's about 10 kgs?
That's right. This was the average cod in the middle of the 19th century. So what we see today...
This was average. What?
Check. Hello. All right, there we go. So you see this fish that's in his hand. He says that was a normal sized fish in the early 1900s. And you saw the image of the guy with the big old his catch when they dropped it down. And then you saw when they got there, it was four boxes that they dropped the fish. So you see the difference. Press play real quick. I want y'all to hear what he says.
But for today, this is exceptional, do you think?
This is exceptional for today, yes. You can see most of the cod in this market are half this size or a third of this size.
Wow.
We're fishing too intensively, and we've been fishing very intensively
there you
for
go.
the last
That's what he
150.
wanted. That's what he wanted. We've been fishing intensely and overfishing.
Yeah, so, and he when he goes on, he says that's when he brought out that a lot of these fish aren't even mature. Right? So now, let's get the mindset of Esau and Obadiah. Why he overfishes, why he destroys all the earth. Because of his greed. His greed. Let's read that.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Would they not just take what they need and then leave the rest?
Right.
Go ahead.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Esau gonna take everything.
Right. Absolutely.
He's gonna take everything. I just want to show you again. We're going to go to a law right quick. Go to Leviticus 19:10 to show that this, now, again, we have been told that these people are Christians.
Right.
That are destroying the earth. They're Christians. Why are you talking about them like that? They're my friend.
No.
Okay. Let's see what the law says. The law of the Most High God says.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 10. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor.
Leave them for who?
Leave them for the poor and stranger. I am the Lord your God.
So this is the law that we were given. You were always, Christ said, you will always have the poor among you.
Right.
Esau said, we taking everything. Right? So we go to the next video.
I just posted the next
some?
one. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we get this, and then we're going to go into the oil. Because we can go on these topics all day long. But this one is very important because when you go into the raping of the world's resources, there's a reason why we have to rape the resources. It's because of our lifestyles. The lifestyles that we live today is not normal.
Right.
It's the same thing like when the so-called white man came to the lands of Santo Domingo. It said they ate what 10 times the amount that the natives would.
What they would eat in a month in a day.
Yeah. They would eat what they ate in a month in one day, and it's the same thing today. Because you think about the world that we live in. What does every restaurant from 9:59 to 10 p.m. is a big difference, right? I want y'all to think about this, our listeners. You have to think that store has to be stocked to feed a room full of people if they walk through that door.
Right.
But at 10 o'clock, the door closes and it's locked. What happens to all those burgers?
I was just going to bring.
What happens to all those fries?
Right.
What happens to all those apple pies? What happens to all that food in there?
Trash can.
But check this. That ain't just one store.
Right.
There are millions of McDonald's worldwide.
Exactly.
Now you take a second and think, how much food are we throwing away? Because that's the society we live in.
That's right.
You think about one day, all the restaurants sent their food to a food bank. Just one night worth of supplies. That would end hunger. Overnight.
Everywhere.
Overnight, that would eliminate hunger. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. All right.
You know what's crazy? What you said is so true. And the Bible says, envy thou not the oppressor, right? So now, Sundays, smorgasbords, right? You got your Ryans and places like that. Who comes out of the churches and goes and fills up those places on Sundays?
It's us.
That's us.
It's us. And if we ain't at the Sunnies or the Golden Corral or the Ryans, we eating like kings back at grandma's house.
Right.
More food than you can imagine. But this is what this speaks about. The video is called Natural Resources Depletion. Read that.
World population is expected to reach about 9 billion by 2050. %86 of this, in other words almost 8 billion people, will be in the developing world. The thing is, the actual number of people is not in itself an issue, except in some very densely settled countries. In fact, you could fit the entire population of the world into the state of Texas.
Pause that.
Although not.
I say that all the time too. I be like, how they keep saying the world gonna be overpopulated? I don't know about. I live in Florida. If y'all didn't know, when you drive, and I was in Mississippi for 5 years. When you drive in some parts of Florida, it's nothing but woods on both sides of the road. When you go from Jacksonville to Tallahassee, nothing but woods. Anywhere you go in Mississippi, nothing but land. For miles and miles and miles. So I'm like, how are we going to be overpopulated? It ain't the land that's the problem. It's the way we live. Keep playing though.
Not very comfortably. In world population terms, what really matters is a simple ratio, 32 to 1. It represents consumption. And this is where our problems begin. The average rates at which we consume resources, such as oil and metals, and produce waste, like plastic and greenhouse gases, are about 32 times higher in North America, Western Europe, Japan and Australia.
Pause that. Look at the nations that's up there. The UK, the Great Britain, America, China, all these different modernized nations. I want y'all to think for a second. They say we use 32 times the resources that the other nations use. 32 times. So what does that mean? We have to be on the grind to rape the world's resources, because we got to supply these people the way they live, because we making billions off of it. Billions. Keep pressing play.
Than they are in the developing world. 32 to 1 captures the difference in consumption between the first world and the third world. This little ratio has huge consequences. Let me explain. The estimated 1 billion people who live in the developed world have a relative per capita consumption rate of 32. Most of the world's other 5.5 billion people in the developing world have a rate well below 32, mostly near to 1. This means that with 10 times the population, the United States consumes 320 times more resources than, for example, Kenya does. The poor of the world logically want to have our standards of living. But the fact is that the planet simply does not have sufficient resources to support such a dream. And so, we're left with a fundamental problem. If the whole developing world were to catch up with us, world consumption rates would increase 11-fold. It would be as if the world had a population of 72 billion people. We may see China's growing consumption as a problem, But the Chinese and many, many others are only reaching for the consumption rate we already have. Telling them they cannot or should not try would be hypocritical, immoral, self-serving, and futile, as it wouldn't work. What we should be trying to do is to make consumption rates and living standards more equal around the world, and to do it.
It said we should be trying to make. All right, you can take that down. But I wanted to show y'all that in first world, that's the terms. First world countries, we use 32 times the resources than they do in first world countries. Now, what y'all got to understand is during this video, they said, well, everybody's trying to aspire to be like the first world countries. But everybody's not going to do that. I proved that with the Bible. Go to Matthew 26 and verse, I want to say the poor are always amongst us. 11. Read 26 and 11. Matthew 26 and 11. And this is just the matter. This is just the truth. This is what our people have to understand. This is why I have peace with the fact that certain people are in certain ways. Not that we don't help them, but I know that they're going to be amongst us. Read that.
The Matthew.
Oh, what?
Bring it out.
Somebody read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 11. For ye have the poor always with you.
For what?
For ye have the poor always with you.
So there will always be individuals that are less fortunate amongst us. Right. That's what we have to understand. But that's why at the same time, when we're living 32 times the lifestyle of somebody not else, it's not because we don't have it, but it's because of the society that's set up. All right. So we're going to go to the next video or the next article.
We're going to go to the next article because I'm going to back you up some more on this. America's just, that's why they say this is one of the fattest nations on the planet.
Right.
Literally. All right. It says from not enough to too much. The world's water crisis explained. Scroll down. Y'all move that over so everybody else can see it.
It says day zero, when at least 1 million homes in the city of Cape Town.
In the city of what?
City of Cape Town.
That's South Africa. Now, who lives there? We know that's a place where there was apartheid, right? Go ahead.
The city of Cape Town, South Africa, will no longer have any running water. Was originally scheduled for April. It was recently moved to July. The 3-year-long drought has ended, but severe water rationing, limiting people to a mere 13 gallons per person per day, has made a difference. To put this in perspective, an average U.S. citizen uses 100 gallons per day.
That's the point I wanted you to see first.
Wow.
So 13 gallons?
Right.
100 gallons.
That's a big difference. That is a huge difference. And you know what? It might say it as you go down, but think about the water parks here in America.
Right.
We have parks that are designed for entertainment and fun.
Right.
Probably millions of gallons of water that are there just for fun.
Easily.
Meanwhile, people are dying of lack of water.
Things is public baths.
Right.
Hey, scroll down.
It says
scroll down. No, scroll down some more. I just want to get to the next point. Scroll down. No, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling down. All right, start there.
Global risk. Brazil's Sao Paulo, a mega city of 20 million, faced its own day zero in 2015. The city turned off its water supply for 12 hours a day, forcing many businesses and industries to shut down. In 2008, Barcelona, Spain, had to import tankers full of fresh water from France.
From where?
From France.
From France. Another Edomite nation.
Right.
You gotta, hey, can you look up the distance, the nautical, see if you can put in nautical distance from France to Sao Paulo, Brazil. You are bringing fresh water.
Right.
That's got to take days to get there.
Damn, that's crazy.
How much is that even going to cost to bring you?
Right. Is
to
it
bring
even,
the water?
is it even worth it?
Oh my goodness.
Just like China bought a road all the way to Jamaica.
Officer Well, don't worry, they got a loan for them.
Right.
got a payment plan.
Yeah, they got a payment plan.
It's called the
on
IMF.
Right, that's true. That's true. Dang.
Look at that. There you go, right there.
Wow. Bringing fresh
That's
water.
a long way.
It's crazy. That is crazy.
I just wanted to back you up on that point. You go to the next video.
All praise. Go to the video that was talking about the food. Healthy food costs so much. Why does it cost so much to eat healthy? Why eating healthy is so expensive.
I saw how to.
Because going into natural resources, understand everything in this world today is set up for money. Nothing is for your own will. Everything is about the almighty dollar. I want y'all to understand that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The water.
Uh-huh.
We got to bring out.
Lamentations.
You got to bring out.
How do we not bring that out?
We cannot.
How did we not bring
jump
that
to the
out?
next
Let's
without
go.
bringing out
Let's
Lamentations.
get it. And we're going to read it again because I had another video that go into it. But we got to read it right now. Now, you got to bring it out. We got to bring it out. Since we going into water. Go to... You got it?
Yep. Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 4. We have drunken our water for money.
We have what?
We have drunken our water for money.
We have drunken our water for money. Because now we have to import water from another country 9,000 miles away.
Right.
You mean to tell me a land like Brazil, who's rich in oil, as the Bible says, it dipped his foot in oil, you couldn't just do a trade? You couldn't propose a trade to get some water?
Right.
That won't put your country in debt? Nah, that ain't good enough.
Right.
You couldn't trade with America? Or somebody else?
That's what I'm saying. America is right above you.
Right.
Canada.
Right. Lots of water. We're going to read about a water company in America got so much water. Nestle, they got water for days.
Right.
They right up the street.
Bring it out.
They right up the street, but you got to go all the way to Spain because it's a system. It's a system that is set up. Go to Revelations. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. This is what I want y'all to understand. Y'all have to understand that this society is bigger than what you think it is. We read it already in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12 about the darkness in high places. But so to Daniel, every place we read, they all say trade, 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 trade. We're going to read trade in the Bible. Read that. Revelation 13 and verse 16.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And he calls it all, both small and great.
Both small and great, whether you little old Jamaica or big Brazil. It don't matter. Read.
Rich and poor.
Rich and poor.
Free and bond.
Free and bond. Read.
To receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead.
In their right hand or in their foreheads. That's a nice white man handshake in the right hand, or it's a mark. It's an agreement that I'm down with your policy. I'm down with the IMF giving me funds. I'm down with them telling me I can't allocate funds to health care as long as they give me the money and we can still trade. Keep reading.
And that no man might buy or sell.
And no country can buy or sell. Read.
Save he that had the mark.
Uh-huh.
Or the name of the beast. Or the number of his name.
Right. Unless you are down with the policies that the white man gives you, you're not going to get the resources that you need to survive. Or they'll say, you know what? We're going to put a tariff on your supply, Jamaica. We don't want none of your coffee. Your coffee is going to be so high, nobody's going to buy it. Your banana's going to cost so much, nobody's going to want it. That is what they do to you. That's the mark of the beast. And that's why all these first world countries, they all have the same policies. And they all learned it from America. What you got?
Can I get a scripture
to
back you up? Psalms 83 and verse 5.
Yep. I'll read it for you. The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
It said they have consulted together. That means they've been talking.
Right.
They've been talking together, and that's why they have to go. They can't go to any other country. They said, no, you got to go to them.
Right.
You got to go 9,100 and something kilometers to get some water.
Yep.
You're not going to buy it from us. You're going to buy it from them.
There you go. They are confederate against it. And you know what? That's heavy that you said that. Because unlike the black man, the white man will say, all right, we'll let Spain get water.
Right.
We'll let China do roads.
Right.
We'll let America do the ball players. We'll let the British do whatever they do. But they all in agreement, and everything falls just in place. Because like you said, they are in Confederate.
Right.
They know which countries allocate which things.
Right.
Because you don't see the Dutch trying to go into Jamaica.
No.
They're like, all right, cool, you got Jamaica. All right, who got Haiti? French. All right, the French, you got Haiti. All right, that's cool. All right, who got Africa? All right, the British, you got Africa. They all in agreement on these things, and they don't cross each other. You know what? Let's go to the book of Maccabees. And I'm going to show you. That's how they roll. Their policies, they are all in agreement. I think it's 2nd Maccabees 15 or 1st Maccabees 15. Yep, it got to be 2nd Maccabees 15. But they all on agreement, and they don't transgress each other. They all stay on one accord. Is that it? No, I want the one where they got the government. Got to find it. It might be 8. Chapter 8 is in first Maccabees chapter 8. All right, let's get it. 1st Maccabees chapter 8. Yep. And verse 15 and 16. 1st Maccabees 8, 15 and 16. Just to show you how the other nations, this is how they work. They are in agreement. They're not trying to surpass one another. They understand that, hey, if he eat, we eat. Read that.
1st Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 15. Moreover, how they had made them for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered.
Right, the other nations are well ordered. So well ordered indeed, they are called what? The United Nations.
Right.
Y'all don't get that.
Right.
How do you unite nations? They called the United Nations. Read.
And that they committed their government to one man every year.
Read.
Who ruled over all their country. And that all were obedient to that one.
Read.
And that there was neither envy nor emulation among them.
Right. Wow. There was no emulation amongst them. Now, we know this was talking about during the Grecian times, but guess what? They took this format. They took this format and they mastered it.
That's heavy. It says no emulation, meaning that look, I got the water. Right. I'm not going to try to run in your business.
There you go.
But you going to give me a piece. That's what Esau said.
Hey, you got the water. You got the batteries. I got the ball players. You got the coffee. They're all in agreement. They're all in agreement.
Esau got the shark loans.
Right. Right. Hey, press play. Because the next video is heavy. And this one hits home for a lot of our people because a lot of so-called blacks and Hispanics, we deal with health issues. At the end of that, we know we deal with health issues, obviously because of our eating. But when we try to change our eating habits, what do we find? We find out that we can't get a double cheeseburger worth of grapes for $1.
Right.
It don't work like that. When I try to take my $1 and turn it into some apples, it ain't enough. And we're going to show you why.
With $10, you can buy this many donuts and this many apples. If you opt for the donuts, you get a lot more calories. But not all calories are created equal. Apples contain fiber and vitamins, while donuts are full of saturated fats and chemically processed ingredients. Even though apples are healthier for you, you have to eat more of them to get the same number of calories as one donut. And it would cost you about $5 more, which means the cost-effective choice is usually not the nutritionally sound one.
There's a strong relationship between diets that are low in fruits and vegetables and obesity and diabetes.
These two chronic diseases now rank among the nation's gravest health concerns. Produce is essential for a healthy diet, but Americans aren't eating enough of it, and part of the problem is cost. So what can be done to add more produce to the American plate?
Fresh fruits and vegetables are often more expensive to farm than other types of crops that end up in processed foods.
For example, fresh strawberries have to be picked by hand, but strawberries destined for preserves can be harvested by a machine. Bumps and bruises don't matter in the process, and machines are more efficient and cheaper in the long run than human labor. This extra work is reflected in the price difference between fresh strawberries and other crops, and it also makes fresh...
So it's showing you that guess what? You have to pay for the price of a fresh fruit. But you don't have to pay when it's been chopped up, grind together, and all that. You got to pay for that. Because guess what? The white man at the end of the day, he loves to get stuff for free. He loves to get stuff for free. Can we read that? Were you going to Jeremiah 22? Oh, go to Jeremiah 22 and 13. Because I'm going to show you. This is the mindset of Esau and all his other nations that are around him. This is what fuels the capitalist system. Read that. Jeremiah 22 and 13.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 22 and verse 13. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
That what?
That useth his neighbor's service without wages.
Without wages. Because they make sure they charge you for that labor. But guess what? The people that's doing it, who are they? The so-called Mexican man. And what are they here? They're here legally, and they get paid absolutely next to nothing to do the work. But they make sure they charge you for it.
Right. But we over here doing it literally for free.
Right. Absolutely.
And even to this day, that's what Cesar Chavez, one of the Mexican advocates, he was fighting for it because what they would do is put all of these Mexicans on one plantation, have them working, give them 2 showers, 2 bathrooms. It's hundreds of them.
Dang. They ain't paying them nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
Paying them nothing.
Wow. So that's press play. Press play. Press play.
Fresh strawberries more expensive to buy than processed strawberries.
Government subsidies also play a role in the cost difference. For example, the USDA doesn't subsidize leafy vegetable crops in the same way it subsidizes wheat, soy, and corn.
Pause.
These 3 crops...
That's why it's called a system. As you see, they subsidize, meaning they make it possible to keep the prices down for you to buy the processed stuff, but it costs more for you to get the actual real green vegetables. You go ahead.
I'm trying to diet, right? So I ain't eating meat. I'm trying to be vegetarian, right? If you go to the store, you buy a bag of fruits. Right? It costs you $10. I'm like, damn, that's 3 value meals right there.
Right. There you go. There you go. Go ahead, press play.
Make up a lot of processed food. So products full of high fructose corn syrup and soybean oil have an unfair advantage. When it comes to cost, the less nutritious food will win out. Other incentives are needed to keep people away from cheap
Hold up. The less nutritious food will win out, right? Deuteronomy 28:16. Deuteronomy 28:16. Because and again, this is why we have the health issues that we have. We are not like you said, we are not growing food in our backyards. We don't have our own cattle or chickens or anything like that. So we got to rely on who? Our oppressor. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16. Curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field.
So us being cursed in the city is because now we have to go to these grocery stores that Esau owns, and that Esau owns all the distribution rights to, right? And what do? We get these little dollar stores in our neighborhood, from the little cheapest beers to all the unhealthy foods, right? And that keeps us sick. So now we're profiting their healthcare system, right? So it's a chain effect. This is why it's so hard for us. You don't find no Whole Foods. We did this before. If you see a Whole Foods, you know it's time for all the Negroes to be gone. It's called gentrification. You're not going to have no Whole Foods or no place like that in the hood.
Right. Where the school at, I can't find one around here. But I go near Universal Studios and all that. Whole Foods all over the place. Popping up left and right. Check this. My favorite scripture. Why this is on the screen. It says, other incentives are needed to keep people away from cheap processed foods. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Because it said cheap processed foods. That is what the Negro man and Negro woman love. That's what I was raised on. Dollar menu. Show you what God says about it.
Some milk.
Milk costs too much.
Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth.
So good and cheap. The dollar is so cheap and good.
Right.
Gosh. Read.
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Right, you think you're in a good case. You're like, man, I'm feeding my whole family for $9. Thank you, Whack Arnolds. How can I do this? Man, read.
And even then shall evils grow upon the earth.
Right, even though it's cheap, evils will grow upon the earth. Because guess what? Diabetes, heart disease, breast cancer, all these different things, it's an effect of our eating habits. You ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? You are what you eat. Fruits, they got strong texture. They bright. They're luminescent. They look good. All that good stuff. That ain't what we eating.
It was heavy as.
Fine. You just
think about this.
I understand that.
If they're gonna sell you $1 burger at McDonald's,
right,
you never wonder to yourself, how much profit is they making?
Right,
it's only $1.
Exactly.
How is they selling all these dollar burgers? They have an abundance of it.
That's because y'all eating them Petri dish burgers.
Right.
But that's another show.
Right. So read it again, though.
From the top?
Yep, from the top.
Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Read.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, famine.
What?
Sword, famine.
What?
Sword, famine.
Famine. Even though we have all this food, officer, at the same time, we're finding out that there's famine. What is that, Venezuela, right? Where everybody's leaving? There's no food. How? How is there no food when we're throwing away millions upon millions of pounds every night here in America? So if you don't think you're in Babylon the Great, somebody has deceived you. Somebody has deceived you. Finish this video.
Hey, hold on. Because we read that the Lord will bring this enemy against us, right? I'm going to read it right now because I got it. Jeremiah 29 and 28. It says, for therefore he sent unto us in Babylon, saying, this captivity is long. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. So this is what we were commanded to do in our captivity.
That's heavy. That's heavy. Read it. Press play.
Taxes on tobacco and alcohol have been effective at curbing consumption.
This line shows the average price per pack of cigarettes over the past 40 years. The rising prices are partly fueled by federal and state cigarette tax increases in 1983, throughout the early 2000s, and 2009. Meanwhile, per capita cigarette consumption, shown by this line, has steadily decreased as prices have gone up.
And some researchers are arguing that we need to start thinking about a junk food tax. The tax would focus on non-essential food items like candy, soda, and potato chips.
These unhealthy foods would be taxed at the manufacturing level, and higher costs at checkout could steer customers toward healthier options.
But a junk food tax alone won't fix obesity.
Or the already high costs of a healthy diet. So what can be done? We could make produce sexy. Okay, well there are other things too.
To address the cost issues, some programs are springing up that make produce more affordable for lower-income people through subsidies.
And since 2014, the USDA has granted over $65 million to expand these programs throughout the U.S.
There's also the Fruit and Vegetable Prescription Program, or FVRX.
Doctors can give vouchers for produce to low-income patients who are at high risk of diet-related disease.
All right, that's enough on that one. But what I'm showing you is they know it's a problem. They know they create the problem. Now they want to come in and what? Give you the solution. Esau know what they doing, man. They know exactly what they're doing. They didn't think nothing was wrong when they didn't give us any healthy options. What was going to happen? Of course high blood pressure is going to happen. Of course diabetes was going to happen. Of course obesity was going to happen. We got 4 options on the street. McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, or Taco Bell. What do you expect?
And you know what's heavy about all that cheap food they brought up? I ain't see pork in there at all.
Yep. No,
they don't want you to think pork is bad and cheap.
Right.
They want you to keep eating it.
Absolutely.
All right, bring up the next video.
Terrible thing.
We're gonna close it out on this next video. You know. Are we? Oh, okay. So the Bible says, "Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad." what we're doing is we're showing you abundance of evidence that we, the Israelites, are oppressed. This world was given unto us, but you see that we are now struggling to eat healthy. We're struggling to have fresh, clean water. Matter of fact, give me Sirach chapter 29, verse 21. Give me Sirach 29, verse 21. Let's let the Bible speak. And you got that video up? Okay.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and an house to cover shame.
So the first thing on there is water. When you got to have water delivered 9,000 kilometers, I don't even know how many miles that is, away. That's a long that's a long way.
You're in bad shape.
You in bad shape. And you surrounded by the ocean. Wait a minute. Isn't the Amazon River on that land? But you still got to go to your oppressors for water. Oh, my goodness. Go ahead, press play.
Day and night, it's the same melody that is playing in Cotonou, the deafening noise of thousands of small motorbikes throughout the city. In Benin, the motorbike is king. It's used to carry just about everything, including serving as a tanker. For a few dollars, these daredevils can transport as much as 700 liters of fuel per trip. Sometimes there are accidents. When we fall off, the petrol spills and can catch fire. The human bombs are carrying black market petrol that's sold in illegal and makeshift service stations. There are thousands.
Go back about 10 seconds. What did he call them? Go back. Yeah, go back about. All right, play it from there.
Carrying black market petrol that's sold in illegal and makeshift service stations.
Go back. Yeah, go back to like 30. All right, play from there.
Sometimes there are accidents. When we fall off, the petrol spills and can catch fire. The human bombs are carrying black market petrol.
He said the human bombs. They carrying so much fuel that they could explode. So brothers is literally risking their lives on motorbikes to transport fuel. We're gonna see why. Go ahead.
Petrol that's sold in illegal and makeshift service stations. There are thousands dotted across the country.
Look at that. You can go to Tyrone and get some gas.
How much do you want? 2 liters is fine. The prices are remarkably competitive.
Look, selling them out of whiskey bottles.
How much is it? 325 francs. Which is about 60 cents a litre. The low prices are effectively undermining the market. No one other
So
than
pause
state
for a
employees.
second. So what we're looking at is black market for oil and gas, right? All right, play up.
Buys from the large multinationals anymore. Madame Rose owns one of the small and thriving service stations. They sell 2 litres of petrol for about $1.10. Me, I sell it for 55 cents. Even less than 50 cents sometimes. The illicit trade costs the government an estimated $40 million a year in tax. But they put up with it since it provides a livelihood for a quarter of the entire population. The government would like to see us disappear. But it'll never happen, since too many people would be thrown out of work. Too many families depend on the business. Before it reaches the likes of Mrs. Rose and Benin, the petrol has caused some men to die, and made others rich, and damaged large parts of Nigeria, the world's 7th largest producer of oil.
Pa, do you hear that? The world's what? 7th largest producer of oil. We're gonna play on, but I wanna get this in Deuteronomy 28, verse 33 and 34. Deuteronomy 28, verse 33.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
So the fruit of thy land goes into your resources. Go ahead. Verse 34.
Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
And so because all these other nations are coming and raping the resources, people still find creative ways to survive.
All right.
Go ahead and press play.
Every day, thousands of litres of fuel, stolen from the refineries, crosses the border between the two nations. The superior quality of Nigerian petrol has attracted all the top oil companies, but also the gangs of thieves, ready to risk all, as they siphon off fuel from the refinery pipelines in the dead of night.
See, so this is a crude oil. This oil belongs to Nigeria.
This oil belongs to us. It belongs to all Nigerians.
Pause.
Today,
what did he say? This oil belongs to us. We got to steal our own resources. Go ahead, press play.
Niger Delta has become Africa's Wild West. Hey, who's brought the whiteys here? This is my home. There'll be blood here. Nigeria's crude oil is so pure that it's easy for the smugglers to refine it using old-fashioned methods.
This is what we have at the end of the day. This is diesel. Because this is not job. This is life and death. So many people die from this job.
The rush for black gold is slowly polluting not just nature, but humans too.
Oil have destroyed everywhere. Oil is not a blessing at all. Rather, it is a curse.
To evade the police, the smugglers hide their illegal refineries in the heart of the mangroves, a marine jungle so thick, it's virtually impenetrable. The boat's heading for the black smoke that betrays the presence of a camp. Hundreds are hidden in this maze. We're meeting one of the gangs, but the guide, Morris, isn't happy. It's a dangerous area. The smugglers keep a careful eye on access to the mangrove, and the boat is soon forced to stop.
When we start talking, you off it, please. The point you off it. Wait, off it, please.
What's the camera doing here?
No, it's off, it's off, it's off, it's off.
Give me your camera now. Well, why'd you bring the white guys here? It's going to ruin our business.
I said turn that boat.
Go back the way you came. I told you to leave.
Understand you somebody, no say go just go.
Well, the river doesn't belong to you. I've told you, turn around. You don't have the right to say that.
Jasper, man, no, to make you up and I beg.
I never want to see your boat here again. This is my home.
They are aggressive because everybody feels they should stop this business. This is the only place they make money from, so if this place is exposed, it becomes a problem. So they just don't want anything that will expose the business.
All right, so what we were showing there is that a lot of our people, well, we're showing that the creative ways that our people are trying to survive. You have the oil companies that come in and then they take over all the resources, and then this is a black market industry for oil and gas. All right. I want to check something right quick. Can everybody still see and hear us clearly? Everybody still see and hear us clearly. It was told to me that one of the streams just... You still got it? Okay. All right. So,
can you hear us clearly on Facebook? Type Y if you can hear and see us on Facebook. We want to make sure we still streaming.
So what we're witnessing is colonization.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
The raping of the world's resources
Right.
that belong to the Israelites.
There you go.
I just noticed something heavy in this video. Get Deuteronomy 28:65 real quick. Because you got to remember, one of the things they said is that 1/4 of all the Nigerians sell gas. And what we watching is them transport it. So think about out of that 1/4, that 25%, maybe more, how many of them are just the transporter, the thieves of it? Right. So read what you got. Deuteronomy 28:65.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations,
the so-called white man right here that comes into this country, Nigeria, takes over their resources, what shall happen?
Shall thou find no ease?
Do you think you're at ease when you riding on a boat down the river with cans and cans full of gasoline can blow up at any time?
They call
You
them human
smelling the
bombs.
gasoline?
Oh.
You smell a little gasoline, it can kill you.
Right.
You are not at ease. Read on.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Because I know that's a very labor-intensive job right there. Transporting that gas, that's very labor-intensive. A lot of us work in warehouses. We picking up boxes. These brothers is grabbing gallons and gallons and gallons of gasoline and transporting this thing. Read on.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
Because that's what they have, a trembling heart. They see the white man with the camera, what happened? They scared as hell. They don't know what's going on.
Why is he here?
You better turn around.
Right.
Hey, somebody gonna die. If we don't see that camera leave, somebody gonna die.
Absolutely. All right, let's pull up the next video. Yep, that one. That one good.
Here's my first letter. Tells me I got to have resampling. A month later, a little over a month later, again, my well water's not safe to drink. Then the third letter I get says my water is safe to drink almost 11 months later. State of North Carolina says they're leading the nation in coal ash cleanup. This ain't leading no nation in coal ash cleanup. Telling people to drink contaminated water that you have told me twice not to drink, that's not being a leader.
What you have is a system guaranteed to pollute, a system of primitive storage we wouldn't allow anyone else to do, and a system that is primed for catastrophe. Every day they are polluting groundwater, rivers, and lakes with toxic metals.
The companies have a reason not to clean up. They can't afford to and still make coal profitable.
Pause.
Pause.
So, what I want y'all to understand, these coal mining cities, go back. I want y'all to hear the precious white man, as Deacon Asaph said. The precious white man is going to speak the truth about his business and corporations. Read that.
The companies have a reason not to clean up.
They have a reason not to clean up.
They can't afford to and still make coal profitable.
They can't afford to and make coal profitable. So understand, at the end of the day, what's the only thing that matters to the white man? Money over everything.
Right.
It's a
I
saying.
am no white God. Don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white God save me
There's a
from
saying.
man oppression? I have no.
There's a saying that money makes the world go round.
Right.
Understand, when you're dealing with a white man, that's absolutely true. That's all he cares about. He don't care about nothing else. Press play.
All the profit that's made burning coal, it's not enough dollars to clean up after the mess that coal leaves behind.
Coal ash is an enormous problem across this country. There are about 1,000 coal ash sites with very heavy levels of pollution, ultimately ending up in some waterway that people are
I want to
relying
look
on.
at. No, I want to see that map. I want to. Hey, we got to look at that map for a second. Stop. Look at where major cities that black. Wow, look at that.
Ohio, right.
I mean, those are major. Look, Jacksonville. Look like Jacksonville got 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah, Orlando, Tampa.
What I be seeing when I'm driving off 528? Yeah, that's a cold.
Look up there in the D.C. area. Yep. New York.
But guess what? You got clean water at Disney.
All right. Yep. You can guarantee
You
that.
got that clean water
You
at
can
Disney
guarantee
Universal
it.
Studios in Aquatica.
Yep. All the theme park. Wet and Wild, Watermania.
Look where. Okay. Illinois. Down to Missouri, where like St. Louis is, and all throughout Indiana, and man, wow. Good grief, bro.
Go ahead, finish it, because we got one more water one I want to show them.
Some waterway that people are relying on for drinking water. It's a ticking time bomb for millions of Americans.
Okay, what you need, baby? Yes. Go on. Fill her up. Set her on down. We know that Duke Energy is never going to admit this, because if they do, there's 6 other states waiting to pound on them. We know that. We just want them to do the right thing. Clean the mess up, clean up their own trash on their own property, just like they would expect us to do, and provide us clean, safe water. We know too much now to turn around and back up, and we are not going away.
This man that we talking, you got to take him to court to save lives and to save the environment. Is that the 6? Hey, all right, listen. We'll clean up 8 of them.
Right.
But the other 6 you on your own. Right. That's what this man is about.
You got to take him to court for him to clean up his own trash.
Yep. That's what it is.
We can't. It's gonna go too
All
much
right.
in our profit.
Go to how Nestle makes billions from bottling free water. This one was heavy. Nestle makes billions from bottling free water.
Michigan, a state surrounded by water, is drowning in controversy. For years, Nestle, the world's largest food and beverage company, has bottled Michigan's water.
The world's largest food and beverage company. Not the world's second largest. Not the top competing company. The world's largest company is selling water. Go back to Lamentations again. Y'all got to understand this. Go ahead, Austin.
So Flint couldn't get no water from them?
There you go.
Right.
There you go. There you go. It's about profit. That's all they about.
Oh, man.
Profit. Right there in Michigan. You got it?
Hey, before I read that, I want y'all to type yes or no if you don't believe from the evidence that we bringing out that these other nations are raping the world's resources.
Right, absolutely.
Go ahead.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 4.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us.
Remember, Lord, what has come upon us. We got oil coming out the ground. We get taxed for it. We got to go to the gas pump. $3.90 if the white man says so. If it go up to $5, you got no choice. You still got to pay it. Read.
Consider and behold our reproach.
Consider and behold our reproach. Think about the Jamaicans riding on a highway in their own country, paying taxes to another nation thousands of miles away. Read.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our what?
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Because America was given to the so-called Native Americans. But now they are in reservations with bad cleaning water, with no drinking water. Now they got to worry about fracking on the lands that was given to them the second time. The whole land was given to them by God. Then they were given a reservation by the white man, and that's being destroyed too. Double 2 times foods. Read.
Our houses to aliens.
Our houses to aliens. The lands that were given to us were taken by the so-called white man. They go to Ghana. They go to Nigeria. What was the land they was just at in Africa? What land was that?
Nigeria.
They in Nigeria setting up oil fields. Read. Even in America, even in the ghettos and slums that we were given, they gentrify those.
Right.
Consider our reproach, Lord. Read.
Verse 3. We are orphans and fatherless.
We are orphans and fatherless because of this society, this system. Read.
Our mothers are as widows.
Uh-huh.
We have drunken our water for money.
We have done what?
We have drunken our water for
and
money.
The world's largest producer of fresh water, what we're about to read, watch, is that they get it for free. They get the water for free, just about. Keep reading.
Our wood is sold unto us.
Uh-huh.
Our necks are under persecution.
Our wood is sold unto us. They destroy the rainforests that grow for free. And we have to pay thousands upon thousands for the infrastructure of our homes to be built when the trees are there free. Read.
Our necks are under persecution.
We are constantly under persecution. Read.
We labor and have no rest.
We labor and have no rest because of the system that's been set up here in America. Press the play. Press play. I want y'all to listen. This is
From
funny.
next to nothing and sold it at great profit.
Pause back.
Now,
just in time. I want to make sure y'all heard that. Go all the way back to the beginning. Yep, the beginning of the video.
Michigan, a state surrounded by water, is drowning in controversy. For years, Nestle, the world's largest food and beverage company, has bottled Michigan's water for next to nothing and sold it at great profit. Now, the state has greenlit the company's request to pump even more, despite widespread opposition. And all Nestle has to pay for these millions of gallons of water it gets a year is $200. And this in a territory...
Go back. Don't act like y'all didn't hear that. Don't act like you did not hear that. Read it again. Watch it again. Play it again. Whatever we got to do. Make sure the people hear this.
Request to pump even more, despite widespread opposition. And all Nestle has to pay for these millions of gallons of water it gets a year is $200.
All Nestle has to pay.
Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Nestle pays $200, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's heavy about that? What's that, Ops?
What a Negro would buy a pair of J's.
Right.
They spend more money on one pair of shoes than what a whole corporation that makes billions of dollars pays a year.
There you go. There you go. Press play. Press play.
In a territory where Native American tribes have treaty rights.
There is a
perception around the world that Nestle goes into poorer communities with lax regulations, entices them with the promise of jobs, and then takes their water, sells it back to them at a profit.
Pause.
We have to go with the...
What you got? What you got?
That's the same thing they was doing to so-called West Indians.
There you go.
They made a concession.
There you go.
They made a concession with the government saying, we going to give you part of the land. You can use it for the water, and we're going to only charge you $200.
Yep. Go to Psalms 55 and verse 20, please. Psalms 55 and 20. Because y'all don't understand. When they do these things, these are acts of war. You might not think these are acts of war. $200. Read that.
Damn. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
He had what?
He had broken his covenant.
Because it appears to be good. It appears to be good. They come in and then they set up the water and then they sell you your own water. You don't even get it for free. Read.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth are smoother than butter. Read.
But war was in his heart.
But war is in his heart. Him being on the up is in his heart. That's what he's thinking about. How can he upsize you? How can he take all your water, your resources, your minerals, your gold, your diamonds? That's the only thing in his mind. Read.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
All right, so press play. Press play.
Water's at. What do you think Nestle should do?
Go home to Switzerland.
Nestle's water grab. We're going to watch about a minute of it. I ain't even seen this part.
We're walking up to see the White Pine Springs well, where Nestle pumps 250 gallons of water a minute that it bottles under its Ice Mountain brand. Despite massive opposition, Michigan has just approved Nestle's request to increase that amount to 400 gallons of water a minute. And all Nestle has to pay for these millions of gallons of water it gets a year is $200, which locals here are furious about. John McLean has worked as a surveyor in this area
I don't want to see
for
no more of that. So, as you see, the government is in cahoots with the corporations. It's all a system that's set up for the, it's about the dollar. It's not about the people. Because if you can pump out 250 million gallons, 250 gallons a minute, but Flint, Michigan can't get clean water, something is wrong. These numbers are not adding up. Go ahead.
Can I get a scripture?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 50 and 33.
Yep.
This is going back into the Native Americans, which is the northern kingdom of Israel, right? And then you have the Benjamites, right? The southern kingdom of Israel are going through the same affliction by the same people that are confederate against us for our same resources.
There you go. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
So so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the northern and southern kingdom, we are oppressed together. We are going through the same affliction from the same people on the earth. All the nations are confederate against us, and they want your resources.
Right.
And all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go.
Because they know once they got us oppressed, what they're going to get? Free labor. Cheap labor.
There you go. All right. So we getting towards the end. We going to have to do a part 2 of this, also. We're going to have to do a part 2. We didn't even get to a lot of the resources.
Yeah.
We got the main ones.
Right.
We didn't touch gold. We didn't really go deep into the oil. Honey. Whew.
Medicine.
Fruits.
Where the medicines come from.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
There's
stuff.
A lot left.
It's a lot. But I want to touch a few scriptures before we get out. Let's go to the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 18. You know what? Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra 16 and 18 first. Second Ezra 16 and 18. You get Revelation 11 and 18?
Yes, sir.
You get Second Ezra 16 and 18. Let's go there. Because I want to show y'all something. Because guess what? Remember what we saw about the, what was that? The coal ash. They knew that what they were doing was destroying the earth. Yet we see all of these companies, they keep popping up. And this is a testimony of this scripture right here. Read that.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows.
We did a whole show on that. The beginning of sorrows. Read.
And great mourning. The beginning of famine.
The beginning of famine. That's where we at now. Read.
And great death. The beginning of wars.
Read.
And the power shall stand in fear.
The powers are going to stand in fear. That's what we're seeing. The government keeps saying, 2050, we ain't going to have enough. What are we going to do? We need to mass produce eggs, mass produce chickens, mass produce turkeys, whatever we can do. Read.
The beginning of evils.
The what?
The beginning of evils.
Read.
What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Read.
Behold, famine and plague.
Famine and plague. Read.
Tribulation and anguish. Are set as scourges for amendment.
Right. The Most High God is afflicting the world for us to change our ways.
Right.
They're showing you, hey, Mr. White Man, when you have this coal ash, mine, you're killing the water, you're destroying the trees, everything's dying.
Right.
What does the white man say? Take me to court. Read.
But for all these things.
Read.
They shall not turn from their wickedness.
They what?
They shall not turn from their wickedness.
That's what we're seeing. Because is anybody trying to change the lifestyle of the way we do things? Absolutely not. Why? Revelation 11 and 18.
The book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. And the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that they shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name.
Right. So there's going to come a time when the prophets are going to be rewarded for their actions. Read.
Small and great, and shouldest destroy them.
And we are going to destroy them, the so-called white man. Read.
Which destroyed the earth.
Which what?
Which destroyed the earth.
Which what?
Which destroyed the earth.
Understand, the rulers and powers that be today are destroying the earth that we live in.
Right.
That's not a suggestion. That is fact. Anybody tell you this Bible is not a true book, they haven't read it.
Right.
They don't understand it. Every video we show you today, we backed it up with a scripture. We show you that Nestle is taking billions of water and selling to you. We had the scripture. We show you that the food, it can be cheap, but it'll be bad for you. That's the scripture. So if you are incomplacent, you're not sure if the Bible is real, you need to truly examine these scriptures and look around what's going on in the earth today.
All right.
Go to Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 7. I know you said you had a scripture you wanted to bring out, right? Okay. Isaiah 14 and 7. Let's read that one in 14, 7 and 8, and then also bring out his scripture.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 7. The whole earth is at rest.
The what?
The whole earth is at rest.
What we're reading about is when the powers that be are set down. When Esau is set, when America is no more, read that again.
The whole earth is at rest.
That's when the earth will be at rest. Read.
And it's quiet. They break forth into singing.
The earth will break forth into singing. Read.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee.
The trees are going to be rejoicing. Read.
And the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
That's what we're striving to get to. When the trees are rejoicing. When the earth is at rest. But that's only going to happen when the Israelites are ruling the earth.
That's right.
What you got, Austin?
Let's just get Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Because I pray that those that have been watching, if you're new and you don't understand the curses, we encourage you to go read Deuteronomy 28. Right. Those of you that know that the Israelites are under the curses, I pray that some of you have gotten a greater understanding from the things that we brought out. So you got that?
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
So what we see is the punishment that we read from the very beginning. This earth was given to us.
Right.
All the resources were given to us.
Absolutely.
And now these resources have been stripped away from us. Now because of colonialization, we have to depend on our oppressors.
Right.
We've seen illegal means of trying to do gas trade, right? Brothers riding around risking their lives as human bombs.
Right.
We've seen that we don't have fresh water, and these companies are siphoning off that and about our food and to try to eat healthy, which goes into why we are struggling with our health. Deuteronomy 28:61. So there's an abundance of evidence that shows you when the Most High God says, you only have I known of all the people on the earth, he is not dealing with any other nation. That's why salvation is only for the Israelites.
That's right. All right. So, hey, we pray you tune in next week. You can follow us at IsraelUnite.org. We have schools all over the world. All right. So, with that, we're Lionz Den Radio Show. Once again, we do not ignore evil. We only seek to expose it. Shalom.
That's right.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.